Alright, hey guys, Hi-Fri here. I don't normally do these videos in this order, but today is going to be an exception. A lot of people have been asking me about the Simgot EA500. I bought these a couple days ago. They were on Amazon, about $70. I'm not going to review them. I'm not going to talk about the sound or anything. I will just say that they do sound very good. They do need a little bit of adjusting, little kind of playing with them a little bit, but they do sound really good. They're very nice. So anyway, I wanted to do a teardown of them and show you guys kind of the internals real quick. This will be a very short video. I've already taken one apart. I just put it back together so that way I can take it apart a little easier in front of you guys, because these are a bear to take apart. But yeah, so let me show you real quick. So this is how I'm rocking them. So I have, let me try to zoom in there. So I got a Y3 dampener on the front here, and what this does is this increases the bass and just gives them a little bit more low end. And then I also have these new Tri-Clarion tips. These came with the new Tri-IEM, what is it called? The Star River. So anyway, so these tips came with the Star River, but they're really nice tips. They're really cool tips. But yeah, so this is a Simgot EA500. It's got this really cool design. This little screw here, and then there's like a little vent next to it to vent out the pressure. And then there's also another vent here. This is for the driver to vent out the forward pressure. This basically controls bass, and then this is just a rear pressure relief that just allows the driver to breathe. Then we have our little connector here on the side. We have the Simgot logo on the back there, and these have removable nozzles. Okay, so I'm using the red ones, and then you can just barely make out the driver inside there. But yeah, so that's the driver. But yeah, so we're gonna take this apart real quick. I'm hoping this is the one that I took apart earlier. If not, I'm gonna look like a real dummy. Let me just do this real quick. Oh, come on. There we go. Now we're in focus. So if you decide to open your pair up, you will have to remove these screws. This screw holds the front to the back. I made the mistake of not removing the screw, and so I kind of stripped it out a little bit. You can actually kind of see it there. It's just right in the middle. It still works, luckily, but I did kind of strip it out. You can see right there in the middle. So just be sure to remove this screw before you take the IEM apart. But yeah, so once we take that apart, we are left with the front and the back housing. This is not a tutorial. I'm not gonna teach you guys how to I wish this stupid thing would focus. I'm not gonna teach you guys how to open these up and like the best way to open up shells without damaging them. As you can see here, I have them pretty much opened up without any kind of damage. So yeah, so they're in good shape. Everything's very nice, no scratches or anything. But yeah, so just keep that in mind. That I'll show you guys later. I'll show you how to do it. But so anyway, so here we have the back plate. So this is the right side unit, and you can see our little dampener, little vent there. It's just sitting on this little like tower, this little structure. That's just to keep it planted against the front of the shell there. Okay, they could have just stuck it to it, but for whatever reason, they also have like this little tower. I guess that's just to make sure that it stays on there well enough. But yeah, so this is essentially how it came apart when I opened it up, and then you got the other screw right there or the other hole for the screw. So we got the inside of the shell here, So this is the front half. We have our CNT driver, and interestingly enough, most drivers will have the positive marked, so it'll be marked positive, but for whatever reason they marked the negative, which is really interesting to see, because you typically always see the positive terminal marked with like a little check mark, or like they'll put a little dab of paint or something, or they'll use a little Sharpie or a little marker to label the positive there. But yeah, so the driver itself is in this plastic housing, so you see it's like a plastic shell, which I'm not a big fan of plastic housings for drivers, but I mean, whatever works, you know, it works. I prefer metal just because they're a little more durable, but yeah, this is fine. So let's get this driver out of here. Now this is a 10 millimeter DLC driver, or diamond-like coating, diamond-like carbon, whatever you want to call it. Okay, there's still a little bit of glue in the housing there, so before we take a look at the driver, so I went through and I just kind of scratched out some of the glue. Normally I would take a little bit of solvent and like a Q-tip, and I would run it along the inside here to get rid of the glue, but I didn't really want to take the time and wait for the glue or the solvent to do its thing. Also, there's a little dampener right here, and I just wanted to be careful of the dampener. I didn't want to accidentally damage it, because if you get any solvent on that dampener there, you might as well just replace it with another one. But yeah, so there's our little dampener inside, and then you can see where the nozzle attaches here. Oops. And this is so the red nozzles are hollow. The black nozzles, which are here, have like tuning foam inside. So you see there's like tuning foam in there. But yeah, so there's tuning foam in the black ones, and then nothing inside the red ones. There's just a little mesh. So there's a little mesh in the red ones. But yeah, I personally prefer the red ones. I've talked to a few people that say they prefer the black ones, but my whole jam is with the red ones. But yeah, so there's the front, there's the nozzle back on, and then this is what it looks like on the inside of the shell when you reattach the nozzle. So that is the layout of the internal cavity. All right, on to the driver. So let's just take one more look at the back here. See if I can zoom in real nice and close on this. There we go. That's close enough. So this is the CNT driver. It's 2 terminals for the connector, and then the other 2 terminals for the actual wire going to the driver itself. These are 2 little copper wires. It uses blue glue on the in the little channel there, so it has blue glue. So black shell, blue glue. This is good to identify the drivers. That's why I bring all this information up. So black PCB, negative marking, black chassis, plastic, blue glue, and then the front metal plate. So this is the metal plate here, and inside there is the DLC diaphragm, and you can just kind of make it out. But yeah, so that's the DLC diaphragm inside there. So kind of a cool driver. I would take this lid off, but I don't want to risk, because this lid actually pushes against the wires in there. So I'm not quite ready to sacrifice one of these units yet. I'd rather keep it working if possible. I already kind of damaged it with this plastic here. So I just want to be careful. But so yeah, I won't be tearing it apart any further. But I will take a quick look at it through the microscope, and I'll show you guys real quick. Alright guys, so here's one of the pictures of the diaphragm. Now I'm recording my screen, so obviously it's not going to look great, but you can see the the texture of the driver here, and actually it looks like there's like a hair or like a fiber or something underneath the driver. So that's kind of interesting. Probably happened in assembly, but yeah. So there's the diaphragm right there, and it's kind of a shame I can't make out more of the driver, but that's essentially what it looks like, and it's DLC, so it's like a clearish brownish color almost. All right, and then here's one more look at it from the front. So kind of looking at it up front, and you can just kind of make out the texture of it. And then you can see right here this little hair or whatever it is. I noticed something in there when I was like looking at it the other day, and I was like, what is that? And I was like looking through my microscope, but yeah, so somebody's hair. I could clone somebody, take their DNA. But yeah, so that's the diaphragm right there. So anyways, guys, so just to recap, this is everything that we have inside the EA500 by Simgot, or Simgot, however you want to say it. So we have these. Here, I'll actually place that in there too. So we got the nozzle. You see the nozzle there. We got the little screw. We have our 10mm diamond light carbon driver. We have the front half of the shell here with our little vent right there, and then we have our vent mod on the front. Little screw hole right here, and then we have this little chassis vent that allows the pressure to escape out the back of the driver here and allows it to flow out the back. So there you go, guys. Hope you enjoyed that. See ya. Catch you next time.